Well, good evening, YouTube. I hope everyone is doing well. It is Saturday evening, about 6 p.m., March the 22nd, and I thought I would come and shoot a video to update you on how things are going in regards to my memoir, but also to ask a favor. I really need your help. I really need you to interact and comment on this video. Share this video. I need people's perspectives on something I really need help with, okay? But I did come out to walk my dog. This is him right here, Pugsley. So I'm not sure how much time I have. It's a beautiful day, probably about 80 degrees here in Wisconsin. So just a very, very beautiful day. I'm at one of the state parks that's near where I live. So in regards to my memoir, I have been doing pretty well with the editing. I think I'm doing well with the editing. What I've been doing is actually reading my chapters to friends of mine. So I have messaged my friends. I say, hey, I need about 30-45 minutes to read to you. I'm going to read my memoir to you. So what I've found out is that it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to read one chapter to a person. Some chapters are longer than others, but even chapters that are kind of short, maybe 4 pages typed, 4 typed word pages, it still takes about 45 minutes because before I read to the person, I say, I'm going to give you the title. I want you to let me know if this title fits as I'm reading. If you have questions, you can stop me in between, or you can write your questions down and ask me questions after I've finished reading the chapter. And so some people do ask me questions throughout as I'm reading. Some people wait to the end and we discuss the chapter and they say the things they really like about the chapter. They give me any feedback, any discrepancies in something I said. I had one friend who I was reading to, my buddy LaShandra, and I was reading about my brother who died when we did before we turned 4 years old. And so I was reading the chapter about my brother, which I believe is chapter 2. I was reading to her, and I said he died March 8th, 1978. So I went on with the reading. We had a conversation, and she said, I think something's wrong. She said, you said your brother died in 1978. I said, yeah. She said, but you said he died the day before you turned 4. I said, correct. And she said, well, that doesn't line up. And I was like, oh, you're right. So I looked at his death certificate. He died in 1979. So it was just a typo on my part. When I had his death certificate because I did share that video with you when I opened his death certificate that I received from the state of Michigan. So I had his death certificate and I looked at it. I talked about it in a video. But when I actually typed it out in my memoir, I put 1978 instead of 1979. So it's been very helpful reading to my friends. Some words that I say might not make sense to a lot of people. So a friend of mine might say, okay, I know what this means, but I don't think everybody who reads your memoir will know what this particular word means or what this phrase means. And so either you want to explain what you mean or you want to use something that's more universal. So again, this has been a very helpful process. I'm so thankful to all my friends who have listened to me read my chapters to them and given me input. I have 2 more chapters out of 18. So I have 18 chapters in my memoir, and I have 2 more chapters I have not read to anyone. And I have, I think, 4 I've only read to one person because I want to read at least, I want to read every chapter to at least 2 people. That's my goal. And so far I've done that, but I do have some chapters still left. So I'm hopefully going to get those read to a couple buddies this upcoming week. And then I really want to get all my edits finished up and send it to the 3 people who are going to read the whole thing. Then I'm going to make more edits and then I'm going to send it back to my editor. What I'm asking your help for is I'm working on chapter 17 and the title of that chapter is Making Sense of It All. And in that chapter, I'm really trying to make sense of my life. I'm really trying to make sense of everything that happened in my life, all the things I'm talking about that happened in my life, the people in my life, the lessons I learned, the things that were good, the bad, the ugly. So I'm really trying to make sense of the story I've told everyone. And so I'm on a Facebook group in regards to people who write memoirs. It was like a memoir writing Facebook group. And I said, hey, how do you like make sense of your memoir? How do you make sense of your life or these experiences you've talked about? Because I'm working on my chapter called Making Sense of It All. Chapter 17, I believe it is. I'm really struggling with this chapter. And some people are like, oh, just kind of tell your story and just, it is what it is. But I don't want to just leave people hanging. Like I feel like I need to make sense of it. I need to have some type of, I don't know, epiphany about what the things that occurred, what it did for me as a person. And so those are some of the things I'm talking about in the chapter. So my question to you, YouTube, is when you read a memoir, what are some things you really want to, I guess, get from it? Or what are some things you would like to hear towards the end of a memoir? So do you really want to know how the person view people in their lives now who may have done really horrible things to them, or how they've overcome something like battling cancer, like what that did for them personally? Do you need a person to make sense of the bad things that happened to them in their life, or the bad things that they did, or the things they caught, the bad things and the pain they caused others? Because that's what I'm really trying to do. So I guess my question to you is, how does a good memoir end? Like, how do you wrap up a good memoir? So since you are going to be the readers, I want to know from you, what are some things that you would love to really hear after you read about, you know, all these things in my life? What have some people done who've written really good memoirs? What type of things have they done that you think are great ways for ending and wrapping up a memoir? All right, so that would be great if you can do that. Please comment. Please share my video with people who are writers, people who are avid readers, because I would really love some comments on this. I'm going to be writing Sunday. Tomorrow is what, I think I said it was March, but it's actually May. So I'll be writing May 23rd. I said it was March in the beginning of the video. I don't know why I took us back a couple months, but it's actually May. So I will be writing tomorrow, which is Sunday, May the 23rd, not March. We're not in March. And so if you can, you know, I'm gonna try to get this video posted so I can get some comments, so I can really use your feedback as I finish up the edits I'm making on this week. So I hope everyone's doing well. Until next time, I want to say stay safe, stay well. Thank you for continuing with me on this journey. I cannot wait until my memoir is in print. Like, I'm really hoping I can have it out by the fall. That's my hope and prayer and desire. So we will see what happens. But thanks for your support. Take care.